Hello and welcome to this instructional video for the web search project that you have been assigned for your class to help update the ACM CCE CC's Educator database with current information. I am Dr. Marcus Geisler. I am a professor of computer information science at Cosumnes River College in Sacramento, California, and I am a member of the ACM Committee for Computing Education in Community Colleges. The goal of this project is to update our Educator database, and you will be contributing to that by helping us find the names, email addresses, and related contact information for instructors who teach computing courses at two-year colleges throughout the United States and Canada. So what's involved for you in this project? Well, you need to find out the names and contact information for computing instructors. Well, what's computing? Well, that's one of the problems that we encounter because computing departments have different names at different colleges. In fact, many colleges have multiple departments that relate to computing. And while computer science is a relatively common name for a computing department, you will also find computer information science, computer networking technology, information systems, information technology, cybersecurity, data science, and some of these other names. Now, that will complicate your search just a little bit, but notice the words computer, information, network, cybersecurity, and data are in all of these department names at least once. So chances are you will be able to find where these instructors teach, and the department names do make a difference, but they are somewhat secondary to trying to, again, be able to contact these instructors. So this video will walk you through a step-by-step process for how to approach this assignment. And you may want to take notes along the way and be ready to go to the resources provided by your instructor as you encounter the various steps. Now, first, your instructor will provide you with a link, a hyperlink, to the data collection template for this assignment. Now, the data collection template will likely look something like this. This happens to be an Excel spreadsheet opened within Google Docs, okay? And it can be in either place. Your instructor will know best on how to share this content with you. And you'll encounter these instructions right here. And by the way, you might say, Dr. Geisler, these are too small for me to read. Well, once you're inside your data collection template, you can use features such as zoom, for example. I'm going to zoom this to 125% to be able to more easily read your instructions. Okay. And of course, once you've read the instructions, the primary purpose for this data collection template is to help you collect the data from the various college websites about their computing instructors. And you can take a look at this template in a bit more detail and notice if you hover over some of these column headers, in this example, you will get more information about how to proceed with each column. So for example, I would add at this point in time my initials, today's date, and then a college list tag. Now, the college list tag comes from another resource that I'll get to in just a second. So I'm going to stop right here and we'll see what else we may need to refer to be able to do this properly. Now, let me go back to my PowerPoint slides here. And chances are, once your instructor has provided you with a link for the data collection template and you've opened that template, your next approach will be to save a copy of that data collection template, either to your Google Drive, if that's what you're using, similarly to what you saw on my screen a little while ago. Or if your institution doesn't provide you with Google Drive or a similar tool, you would then download the copy of the data collection template that you created to a folder on your computer. Especially if you're going to use a tool such as Microsoft Excel or a similar application that is installed on your computer, you will probably be downloading the template to your computer. Now, once you've got the template, that will be the basis for your work, okay? Now, your next step will be to access the college list that you need to use for this assignment. Now, your instructor will once again have different methods for getting that college list to you. And I'm going to talk about one of them, which is to have you use a PDF file. Okay. And this PDF file consists of a group of links and group tags up here. Okay, these are for the different college groups, college lists. And you also have the actual list of colleges down here as well. And notice those are grouped into, give or take, 10 or so colleges, sometimes a little bit more, depending on the state and depending on the complexity of what it might take to get access to this data. Okay, now I'm going to scroll back up, and let's say your instructor gave you the opportunity to sign up for one of these groups. Okay, if you signed up, then your instructor likely gave to you a spreadsheet that you would use to access these lists, and the spreadsheet would look something like this. It would be your college list sign-up sheet. And what you would do is you would pick one of these lists and you would put your name and student identifier next to it. Okay. And initially, of course, you would only put the date that you signed up. And then when you're done with the assignment with your colleges, with finding the instructors' contact information and names, of course, for each of the colleges on your list, you would add a date completed. And then, depending on how your instructor wants you to handle it, you would paste a link to your completed Google Sheet right here. Okay, that's one way of having your instructor assign you the list of colleges, the college list, and this gives you some freedom. And if you hadn't figured this out yet, these are the state codes. So CA happens to be California, for example, FL for Florida. And you may want to start with a group in your state, but of course, whoever gets there first is going to have that first choice. All right, so that's the sign-up sheet method. The other method might be that your instructor just gives you one of these codes. Okay, so if previous codes, previous lists have already been worked on, then your instructor might just say, okay, I want you to complete list IL01. Okay, and then you will be looking for colleges in the beautiful state of Illinois, and that would then be your assignment. Okay, then at that point in time, chances are you would not need to deal with a sign-up sheet such as this. But again, that's up to your instructor. Now, as we go to the next step of our instructions, when you get to your assigned college list, you should then click on the name of the first college on that list to access the homepage of that college's website. Now, let me go back to the listing of colleges right here. And let's say that you were assigned KS01. Okay. Let's click on that link, and KS01 will get you to colleges in the beautiful state of Kansas. Okay, and to access the website of this first item in your list, okay, and you've got about 10 right here, okay, click on the link right here, and you may need to answer a question as to whether it's okay for you to go to that link. All the links here are safe, so please don't hesitate to pursue. And now you are looking at this website right here. Let me make sure I properly share that. Of Allen Community College in Kansas. Okay. So once you get to that website, then your next assignment will be to start searching for the names and contact information of computing faculty, instructors who teach at that college. So how do you best go about that? Well, if I go back to the college website, there are different approaches, okay? And I might just start with, okay, with the menu, okay? And that brings up another menu. And then if I go across, I might run into other kinds of pieces of information that would be helpful to me, okay? Now, you never know where things are because these are not standard websites. Each college has their own separate website. So there's a bit of searching involved. But a good place, for example, right here would be to start at the faculty and staff directory. So if I click here, I now get a listing of faculty and staff. Now notice 22 pages, 196 constituents. That seems like a lot of folks. Can I narrow that down in any way? And I can start with the word computer. That's always a really good start. Okay. And then say search directory. And that will result in instructors. And adjunct, by the way, means part-time instructor, so rather than full-time. Okay. And computer/business, okay, in the Department of Business, Technology, and Agriculture. Now that's an interesting department name. Okay. But at this point in time, this is where you would then start to gather information. So you would first look at the instructor's name, and the instructor's name is Ann Baer. What you would do here is you would select, so you could certainly try to type this, right? You could go back to your data collection sheet and type it, but the likelihood of you making a spelling error is a whole lot higher than the computer making a spelling error. So rather than typing this someplace else, what I'm going to suggest very strongly is that you copy the name and then go to your data collection sheet, okay? And go, and we've got a last name and a first name, and this is where you would then paste the content. Now, rather than paste, I actually recommend that you would paste the values only, okay? And the values only means that you don't have to worry about the formatting. So it will come across in the format that the spreadsheet has. Now, you could always change that format later, okay? So we could have just said, okay, right-click, paste, and then notice the font and things would have been slightly different, but it's not like that couldn't be fixed later, okay? And in fact, there's actually a link attached to that for the faculty and staff directory. If you wanted to keep that, that's fine. That's not a problem at all, okay? But right here then, what you want to do is because we've got the last name and the first name in separate fields for good reasons, you would want to paste it into both places and then make the adjustments to the cell by then editing the text or the link. And in this case, we're looking for the last name. Of course, the last name is Baer. And we're looking for the first name right here, click, and the first name is Ann. Okay. And I don't have a middle initial that I readily saw, so I'm not going to worry about that. Now, I do need to fill in this other information right here. Okay. So I need to fill in my KS01. That was my college list. Okay. And the name of the college, I need to return to, and that of course was Allen Community College. Now, once again, right here, do I copy, do I paste? If you scroll down to the bottom, okay, of each page, oftentimes you will find the name of the college or otherwise, so that you can just pick it up and copy and paste it. Okay, that's not quite the case right here, but you know, that's one way again where you could try to minimize typing. And oh, look at right here, I've got Allen Community College listed right here. So if I you know, somehow find a way to select this text, or if not, again, I could just type it out as necessary. And I'm going to go back to my database, Allen Community College. Okay, no separate campus. And then I can take a look at the website where it's located. And at the bottom, again, is that information. So they've got a couple different campuses. And I've got an Iola campus in Iola, Kansas. And I've got a Burlingame campus in Burlingame, Kansas. If in doubt, the main campus will be listed on first on the left-hand side, or unless otherwise indicated. Okay, so this one happens to be in Iola, Kansas 66794. So copy, paste, Kansas. Okay, and again, I'm not worried about the formatting. I could have done a paste special right here as well. And 66794, now that's one I'm definitely going to copy. And then right here, I'm going to paste special, only the values. Okay. Most of the colleges that we're dealing with here in the first round is definitely are USA based. Okay. And now if I wanted to go back and paste the website of the college, I could have done that to start with. Okay. But now I can go back to my college list. Okay, right here, and notice I can here's my website right here. If I hover over it, okay, and it will get me back to that location. Notice it says here allencc.edu, or I can simply go back to that college website right here, and up at the top will be my URL, and I just pull the front part of that. Again, copy and paste. And notice it even gives me the URL. How nice is that? Okay, so notice I'm not doing a lot of typing. I'm doing a lot of copying and pasting. And that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, now let's go back to Professor Bear. And the department is Business Technology Agriculture. Okay, and I'm going to go right here and copy that and go back and again paste special. Okay, and then I need the email address, and if I have a phone number, that would be great as well. Let me go back to the website, and here's the email address. Notice I can right click and copy email address. Chrome is so smart. By the way, whichever browser you choose to use, many of them have the same features. Okay, and I'm going to go back, right click, paste special, values only. Notice I could use Control-Shift-V to do that instead. I'm going to go back. I don't see a phone number, but if I click on the instructor's name, I may get more information. Okay, and in this case, I do not. I don't have a phone number listed here, and that's fine. We're looking for names and email addresses and departments. Okay, and it does say here adjunct instructor. So that's something that I do want to keep in mind, because that of course means that this is a part-time instructor. So I go back right here, and is that indicated? And it's not. It doesn't say full-time or part-time, and that's fine. Okay, so this is what you would do. And notice I took a little longer because I explained the steps to you right here. And there's different ways, obviously, to do this, but this is the first instructor that you have created in your data collection template. Okay, now let me go back to the college website right here. And notice not all these folks are instructors, okay? In fact, I have here the Director of Information Technology. Now, he or she may also be teaching courses, but then they would probably also be listed as such. So I'm going to not worry about those kinds of folks. I'm looking for instructors, okay? And these are all adjunct instructors. And notice I have an instructor here who's not adjunct, actually a full-time person. Notice at the Burlingame campus, okay? So then this would be something that I could put into the campus field, okay? So once again, this is Professor Lawless right here, that I could grab her information, select it, copy, go back. Now I need to add another record because I'm dealing with another instructor right here, right? So it's me again, and it's, as I'm recording this, same spreadsheet, same college. Notice it helps me right here. And I have the name of the instructor. Okay, so again, Shift Control V gives me the unformatted text, okay? And Shift Control V right here as well. And of course, the first name is Sharon and the last name is Lawless right here, okay? I go back to the directory and I've got an email, right click, copy email address, back right here, paste special, values only. Okay, here's my email address. And now we did say that she is at a special campus. Okay, so I'm going to move back over here to campus, and she's at the Burlingame campus. Select, copy, right click, paste special, values only. There we go. And of course, the Burlingame campus is in a different location, right? But I've got that here at the bottom of my screen. So that is in Burlingame, Kansas, 66413. So right click, copy. Okay, now the Kansas, I could probably be okay with just typing that in just the K. Notice it added the S by itself. And then right click, copy. And notice I'm just bouncing back here between these different tabs within my browser for the Google Sheet and different websites right here. Okay, now a lot of this information I can just copy down. Okay, so I can select multiple cells, copy and paste. Okay, and here is now my other information. Okay, so this is how we deal with it at one college. This is how we can get the faculty data from one college into our data collection template. Now, different colleges, again, do this differently. Okay. My home college, Cosumnes River College in Sacramento, California, you would initially, I'm looking for employees. Well, actually, no, this is the website for employees. That's not what I want to do. So that's not the right link. I'm going to close that one back out. Okay. But as I go look around, okay, about us, interestingly, at our college, the contact us link is of significance to us, because once I go to contact us, it says, okay, find department contact information or look up an employee, in our faculty and staff directory. Notice they say faculty, they don't say instructor. Okay, so you've got those differences there, and that works for me. Okay, so I'm going to click on faculty and staff directory, and I can search by name or I can search by division. Let me just try computer and see what that does. And that doesn't do anything for me. Okay, so I need to try a different approach. Location. Okay, I have a center here in the main campus. That's not going to do it for me. And I mean, I could certainly, I can look by department. Oh, take a look. Now he's a business and computer science. So, or I could just, by the way, I could just do my Control F to search within the browser. Okay, so I can go through computer right here. But notice this is not a complete list. I've only got 10 of 622 results. So I should be able to do better with this. Let me try one other approach, and that is to take a look at the divisions. Okay, and let me, is there anything here that says computer? Look here, there's a business and computer science division. And notice that's even clickable. I may come back to that later. So if I select business computer science and apply those filters, now all the faculty listed right here are for business and computer science. Okay, business professor, computer information science. No, look at here, now we're talking. Okay, so and adjunct computer information science professor. So now I know that their department is called computer, or in this case, our department, because that's where I teach. Computer information science, that's the name of the department. Okay, so that's good to know. All right, so I can copy that one already because I'm going to need that information. And if I want to take a look at more records, I can do that here. Okay. Now, one other approach that I could take to this, and it was, there's a way for me to take a look at business computer science. If I click on this link, okay, good. Now it's not going to take me any further. But that might be another alternative. Okay, so instead of going through this listing, and of course, I could then, say select 50 at a time, and then I can do a search for Control F, computer. Okay. And so right here, okay, so I've got adjunct computer information science professor. Okay, now actually, interesting. I'm back to my full. I need to turn on my business computer science again right here. Yeah, I don't want that many folks. Okay, so 50. Here we go. I should have a whole lot more computers here at this point in time. Look at that. Look at all those instances of computers. Now, the ones that are right here don't really bother me too much because that's the department, technically our area. But the department right here is computer information science. Every time that there's a yellow right here, take a look. Here is computer. Okay, so these are folks who teach computer classes. And interesting, you got to be careful because like one is our instructional assistant for the computer lab. And even though Monsieur Meroux is delightful and wonderful, he is not an instructor, so he would not want to be a record that you pick up. Same as right here, the instructional assistant for the Open Computer Lab. Alex Nicolia is wonderful once again, but he's not an instructor. So you do need to take a look at what's there. And we do have 2 pages here. Okay, so make sure that you cover all the folks that you're supposed to cover in your search. And right here, you need to restart computer. And here is our dean, who's also not teaching. Okay, also very nice guy, but he's not a teacher. Here we go, Professor Spicek, for example, here as well as a colleague. And our administrative assistant is also wonderful, but she also is not an instructor. So you do need to take a look at the details. Notice, by the way, that some folks also have their phone numbers listed, though not all of them. Okay, again, that's information to also pick up. All right, so that's a couple of different ways of getting to instructor addresses. This one happens to be through our contact us list. Now, another alternative that you might do, and this is again just different ways of approaching this, is what we call career and academic communities. And there's one called business and computer science that we just found out. And within that, we have different programs, including computer information science. And if we take a look at the faculty listing right here, all the folks that were on the previous listing are smack dab and very easily right in front of us, maybe many with phone numbers. So this is gold right here. This is the precise list that you would want to see to pick up all the information for this one college, for Cosumnes River College. And sometimes you get lucky, sometimes it works out like this. Okay, of course, this one makes it very easy, but it took us a little while to find that one as well. Okay, but what that tells you is once you know the name of the department, then you might want to do another search, and you can even use the search function that the website has. Okay, so if I want to go with computer information science and just do a search right here on the college website and do a paste and then search for, now take a look, here's the department right here, and it gets me to that same location where I just found all those names and addresses. Okay, so that is quite the good result right here. Now let me show you another college that happens to be in the greater Sacramento area. This is called Sierra College, and they do things slightly differently as well. So you'd have to take a look at, okay, well, what do I do here? And about sometimes is a good start, okay, where you want to go into information, but there's nothing here when it comes to like address lists or directories or anything like that. Then it may be better off to go via academics, and under academics, I'll scroll down a little bit. So this would be like department names, for example. Aha. And take a look as I scroll down, guess what I found? Here is my directory. And by the way, notice down at the bottom here, I've got my college information right here for my address information. This might be a good time to pick that up. But if I go to directory, and then I've got my A through Z staff listings, okay? Department and academic, aha, oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? So this is for departments, okay, and academic programs. Now, this is not, however, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. This is for academics. There we go, business and technology, okay. And aha, here we go. And now we've got computer information science, CIS, and we've got computer science. Let's see, anything for networking right here? No, there isn't. Okay, so now I can click on CIS. And here are my instructors. Oh, look at here, another list of gold right here. Take a look at that. And phone numbers attached to some of these. How perfect is that? Okay, so that is for computer information science. And if I back out of this, then I take a look at computer science. Notice they have two separate departments. Okay, so these are different departments at Sierra College. And yes, some of these names will be familiar. For example, Professor Spisak teaches at both Cosumnes River College and at Sierra College, apparently. And Professor Sabzavari teaches at American River College and at Sierra College. So you've got some folks that go back and forth, and it's okay to have duplicates. Okay, so if you run into a name a couple of times, that's fine. If they're at different colleges, if they teach at multiple places, that's all good. Okay, so that's Sierra College right here. And then last but not least, another college in the area, and this one again is slightly different, right? Because all these websites work differently. So what do I do here? Well, apply now, no, admissions, academics maybe, business. I don't see computers here. So I keep going. Hang on, there was a faculty information, classes and office hours. Oh, that may not be a bad idea, okay. But notice these faculty, this listing has the names, but doesn't have the departments in it. So that's not gonna work for me. All right, so I go back, about, I'm looking for some kind of a listing, right? Campus Live, event listing, that's not what I'm looking for. Resources, oh, resource, oh, look at here, directory, faculty, and staff. Here is my winner. And now I need to find some kind of way to once again narrow this down. So I'm going to look for a computer. Oh, look at that. So I have a computer science faculty and computer and information science. Once again, two separate departments right here, or at least two separate titles. And I've got names, I've got email addresses, I've got phone numbers right here. And wow, that works for me. Again, I scroll down all the way to the bottom, and here is my city, state, and zip for the college as well. So I'm looking for that information also. Okay. Again, different ways of getting access to this faculty information. So once I have then added all this information the way I found it to my data collection template, I do it for all the colleges in my list. Of course, I don't just do it for the one college because I've got multiple colleges. Okay. And this ideally, this is easy, right? If I do what I'm supposed to do, this should be very straightforward. And again, if you want to take a look at a staff directory or academic departments or programs, that may include a link to the list of instructors. Alternately, you might look for a list of degrees or certificates if you can't initially find faculty information. And again, if you're looking for a computer, information, data, network, cybersecurity might be a term that you could add to this list as well, depending on what the department is. I did point out the search field on the college website. It's oftentimes up on top in the top right-hand corner of the website. That's where you would typically find it, and just do a kind of a general search of the content of the website. That works with many colleges. If you have a really hard time finding in the instructors, if you can somehow find one instructor's name, okay, then you might be able to find their colleagues nearby. So for example, if you look for the name of the faculty member and then the name of the college, notice I put the quotation marks to allow the search engine to treat this as one term. Then that would be another alternative for you to pursue. And if you still don't find it, then you might just want to change the nomenclature a little bit, because there is no standard location as we're figuring out for this information. But instead of searching for faculty, you might search for professor, teacher, staff, etc. And sometimes, since some colleges will try to avoid that web crawlers harvest information about email addresses, because they don't want their employees to be added to spam lists, right? You might find this format like user@sample.college.edu, but notice with the parentheses and the word @ because this doesn't get read as an email address by a web crawler or by a browser, right? You couldn't right click on this and say right click copy email address, because it doesn't look like an email address. So again, just be patient. Sometimes it takes a little while longer, but in most cases, you will be able to find that faculty listing. So as I mentioned previously, make sure that you copy and paste the information whenever possible, and that helps to ensure that you're spelling things correctly. Those keyboard shortcuts, I use those a lot. That works for me. Okay, I mentioned paste special. And if you're using Excel, make sure you frequently save your data collection template, so that if something does go wrong, you can always undo it. Or if for some reason the power goes out or your computer crashes, you're not losing any of your work. And of course, with Google Sheets, you don't have to worry about that, because it will do it automatically. Finally, when you're done with your assignment, when you've gone through all the colleges and you found all the records for all the faculty and added them to your data collection sheet, then follow the instructions provided by your instructor to get that information submitted. Okay, and it could be just as simple as getting the link for your Google Sheet via the share button, okay, and submit it via your learning management system. Okay, that a learning management system, by the way, is something like Canvas or D2L or Blackboard or Moodle, depending on what your college uses. Okay, maybe others. And if you're using Excel, your instructor may have you upload your workbook to your Google Drive and then submit the link for the document on Google Drive via your LMS. Your instructor may also have you download your Google Sheet and then upload it via an assignment. Rather than the link, your instructor might want the actual Google Sheet uploaded into basically an Excel format. Or your instructor, if say your college does not have a learning management system that you're using at this time, then you could also just follow your instructor's instructions for this to add the workbook to an email message and send it to her or him. So that would be another alternative. All right, I hope that this video was informative. I want to thank you, first of all, for paying attention. And secondly, I want to thank you for supporting the work of the ACM Committee for Computing Education and Community Colleges. As you're learning in this assignment on how to effectively take content off of various websites after you find it, then that work will turn into allowing the ACM CCECC to better serve the instructors in computing departments at two-year colleges, so that we can better inform them about things that are going on, and hopefully so that they can then be better and more informed instructors to you than they most likely already are. Thank you so very much, and have fun with the assignment.